This block is one of a few hundred naturally generated blocks that make up a Minecraft world as we know it. So what is so special, so terrifying even, about this block that requires a Minecraft Declassified video to it, and it alone? Soul Sand turns 12 this year, making it among one of Minecraft's oldest mainstays. Soul Sand made its Minecraft debut alongside its home dimension, the Nether, in late 2010. If you miss it at first glance, all it takes is a good look to realize Soul Sand is looking right back at you. What's special about Soul Sand is the fact that there are numerous terrified faces dotted all over this block. These faces appear to be shrieking, or at least be in distress. Their terrified expressions and gloomy appearance alludes perfectly to the block's name, Soul Sand, as in, these people must be in distress due to their entrapment inside of the block. But that's not the full extent of this mystery. Perhaps not the correct observation at all. We'll have to do some digging to determine the truth. For us to evaluate the truth of what lies within Soul Sand, we first must learn all of the facts. I searched the internet as well as Minecraft itself in order to discover every trait and usage of Soul Sand in Minecraft. I'm going to name these findings off in two groups. The first group being facts that may not be extremely relevant to our detective work, and the second group being facts I find to be quite interesting. As far as group 1 goes, I discovered that Soul Sand doesn't fall as sand and gravel do when not supported by a bottom block. While this is peculiar, I personally don't find it especially damning to any particular theory regarding trapped souls. I also see nothing interesting about how when Soul Sand is placed under a jukebox, the jukebox plays cowbell sounds rather than its usual keys. So despite those two irrelevancies, I found close to 10 interesting traits of Soul Sand. One of the more obvious traits of Soul Sand is its noticeable height difference compared to other blocks. Soul Sand comes in at about 2 pixels shorter than a regular block like, say, stone. When running on Soul Sand, a player is slowed by 50%, making Soul Sand among a select few blocks to do so. There is a way to prevent this, however. Thanks to 1.16, you can find or enchant a pair of boots with soul speed and race across Soul Sand. What's interesting about that is that when running across Soul Sand and wearing said boots, soul particles will arise below you. These particles are accompanied by a special subtitle description. That is, if you have subtitles enabled in the settings. Soul particles will read out, soul escapes. Soul Sand is also commonly known for being the only block in the game able to grow nether warts. When lit ablaze, Soul Sand emits soul fire rather than regular fire. This fire is blue and burns infinitely. This blue flame also emits from soul torches and soul campfires, both items crafted using Soul Sand. Another thing crafted using Soul Sand is perhaps the most destructive mob in the entire game, the Wither. And finally, Soul Sand pushes a player upwards through water with an ascending bubble column. Now that I've provided you with all this knowledge, let's use it. Let's take those first two pieces of information, that you can run slower in Soul Sand and that soul speed is shorter than a regular block. Could it be that the reason Soul Sand slows you down is because the souls within the block are doing so? That would also explain why Soul Sand is slightly shorter, because the player is supposed to be getting pulled downwards. Secondly, Soul Sand is the only block able to grow nether wart. But why is this? Does this wart of the underworld need the souls of the past living in order to live itself? No other block in the game supports its growth, and no other block seems to entrap souls. This ties in with the soul speed boots. When worn, you actually move faster than normal, and the blocks below you emit soul particles, which with subtitles on, read as soul escapes. If souls are escaping Soul Sand, they would be less inclined to pull a player down, thus you run faster. By wearing soul speed, it appears as though you're releasing souls, and in turn, no longer getting pulled down because said souls have then escaped. So then what's the deal with those ascending water bubbles? Why is it that Soul Sand pushes mobs and players up through water? Perhaps the bubbles are from the souls drowning, their exiles pushing you upwards, or souls escaping from the block into the water. This one, admittedly, is particularly puzzling. Next, Soulfire and its craftable counterparts emit a blue tint and are only associated with Soul Sand. There isn't anything as exciting for this one, only that it is interesting that the fire isn't of regular shade. Perhaps it is simply ingrained with the burning souls. Soul Sand is one of 2 ingredients that combine to create a Wither boss. It can only be assumed that the presumed souls living inside of the block are what bring the Wither to life. They power the Wither as they power the growth of netherwart. From these findings and connections, it is almost an undeniable fact that there are indeed souls of the dead or alive trapped inside Soul Sand, and it would only make sense as the Nether is meant to be a sort of underworld, as described in this Minecraft Declassified. This conclusion leads us to another question, however. Who or what are these lost souls? Well, there's plenty of theories online, such as MatPat's video about Soul Sand's inhabitants. I could go on for hours about those ideas, but over the course of writing this video, I've actually thought of one. It's simple. Souls in Soul Sand are the souls of any mob or player who've died in the world. And this isn't just my educated guess either. You see, when the Wither is set loose, it attacks literally any mob or player in its path. I don't think it's the Wither skeleton souls causing this ultra-aggressive nature, because Wither skeletons don't even do this. I believe it's the souls that make up the Wither that promote its rageful outbursts. Perhaps the souls of all past mobs and players now seek to slay off all life as they had been. Perhaps they'd like the mobs in their path to join their ranks, which would explain its rapid killing nature. As full-heartedly as I believe in my theory, we may very well never know the true origins of these entrapped souls. What we do know, however, is that it is surely creepy as hell. What do you think? Do you believe that Soul Sand does indeed hold in prisoners? That these prisoners were once players and mobs? Or do you think Mojang just felt like adding in something scary? Let me know what you think in the comments. I respond to every single one. Until next time, this was Minecraft Declassified.